76,000 Americans woke up without power this morning, and that number is about to explode. Right now, a powerful winter storm is moving across the country, bringing life-threatening cold, damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and snow measured in feet, not inches. But here's what nobody's telling you. This is just the beginning. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you why the next 10 days will bring some of the most extreme weather we've seen in years. At the 5-minute mark, you'll learn about the atmospheric river that could dump 10 inches of rain on the West Coast. And at the 8-minute mark, I'll reveal the pattern that's setting up for after Christmas. But first, let me show you what's happening right now, because understanding this could save your life. This morning, wind chills across the upper Midwest hit minus 50 degrees. Minus 50. That's cold enough to freeze exposed skin in under 5 minutes. Northern Minnesota saw minus 40 to minus 50 wind chills. Missouri, northern Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, all experiencing negative wind chills. Even the interior Northeast is feeling it. And here's the shocking part. This Arctic blast is still pushing south. Tomorrow, Monday, freezing temperatures reach the Gulf Coast. Northern Florida will drop below freezing. Louisiana, Texas, all the way to the Gulf, single-digit temperatures are on the move. But wind chill tells the real story. Feels like temperatures in the 20s across central Texas, the high teens across the south, and negative wind chills continuing across the Ohio Valley, Midwest, and Northeast. As Job chapter 37 tells us, from the breath of God comes ice, and the broad waters are frozen fast. We're witnessing that breath right now, that power, that reminder of how small we are in the face of creation. Now let me ask you a critical question. If your car breaks down on the highway right now in these temperatures, how long do you have before hypothermia sets in? The answer is less than 30 minutes if you're not prepared. I've seen the social media posts, car pileups from this winter storm, accidents, vehicles stranded, and in temperatures of minus 10, minus 20, even minus 30 with the wind chill, that's not just an inconvenience. That's life or death. If you don't have to travel, don't. Stay home, stay safe, your destination can wait. Let's talk about what just happened in the last 48 hours, because it rewrote the forecast models. Yesterday alone, we received 1,200 snow reports. 1,200. Montana got hit the hardest from this winter storm, but widespread 3 to 5 inch totals fell across a massive area. Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio all saw 5 to 7 inches. Some locations got 5 to 8 inches, and the storm pivoted directly toward Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New Jersey, where snow is still falling right now. Power outages paint the picture of impact. New Jersey, 14,000 without power. Pennsylvania, 10,000. Total across the United States, 76,000. And the snow isn't done yet. Today, another 3 to 4 inches will fall across multiple states. Lake effect snow is hammering Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, western Pennsylvania, western New York, and into Canada. The I-95 corridor got their snow. They got a lot of it. And they're still getting more. Don't miss what I'm about to show you at the 8-minute mark about the pattern shift that changes everything for Christmas week. But first, you need to understand what's coming this week because the threats are multiplying. We have a brief warm-up on the way. Then, this weekend, another powerful storm system develops. This one crosses the entire country, west coast to east coast, and it's bringing multiple threats. More snow for the northern half of the lower 48. Major snow in some areas. Damaging winds across a huge swath of the country. And behind it, another cold snap. After that, we transition into above-average temperatures through Christmas. The Climate Prediction Center has been forecasting this for weeks. It's going to create what meteorologists call the Great Thaw. All that snow on the ground right now, it's going to melt. Fast, and rapid snowmelt means flooding, basement flooding, street flooding, rivers rising beyond their banks. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. After Christmas, the pattern flips again. The Arctic oscillation is going negative, and when the AO goes negative, cold air plunges south. Deep cold, the kind we're experiencing right now, but potentially lasting into January and February. The North Atlantic Oscillation is also trending negative. When the NAO goes negative, it brings a cold snap from the center to the eastern U.S., and it has the best chance of pushing far south. We're setting up for a potentially historic January. But we'll get to that later. Right now, let's focus on the immediate threat. The atmospheric river. The West Coast is about to get absolutely hammered. Not for a day or two, for a week, maybe 2 weeks. There's a massive high-pressure system building over the Pacific along the West Coast, and there's a big low-pressure system forming in the Northern Pacific. These two systems are creating a conveyor belt, a river in the sky, an atmospheric river that's going to pump moisture directly into Washington, Oregon, and California for days on end. Monday brings storms to the west. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it just keeps driving all that moisture into the coast. Into the weekend, the pattern persists. This is going to be a bad week or two for atmospheric river flooding. The jet stream is set up in a zonal flow, west to east, and it's zonal flowing all this precipitation with it. Let me show you the timeline, because this is where it gets concerning. Monday, rainfall begins targeting Washington and Oregon. Tuesday, moves down into California. Wednesday, still there in California, and now the next storm system is pulling in even more atmospheric river moisture. This pattern doesn't break, it just continues, storm after storm, atmospheric river after atmospheric river. Now, here are the numbers, and they're staggering. 5 to 6 inches of rain in the orange zones, 7 to 10 inches where you see brown and darker yellow. We're not seeing the brighter yellow that would indicate 15 inches, but we're definitely looking at 5 to 10 inches across a wide area. For higher elevations, we're talking about snow, and with a 10-to-1 ratio, possibly 12-to-1, if it's a very cold spell, that rain translates to feet of snow, 4 to 6 feet in some locations across Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. 4 to 6 feet. That's not a typo. Weather warnings are already posted. Slight risk from the 21st through the 27th for Washington, Oregon, and higher elevations of California, but moderate level risk for southern Oregon all the way down California. That moderate risk pivots over southern California on the 25th, and with all that moisture comes another threat: wind. This storm is going to bring very powerful winds, damaging winds, dangerous winds. There's a slight risk for winds stretching from California, dipping through Texas on a little trough, all the way to the interior northeast. But that slight risk is going to expand. More sections will likely upgrade to moderate level risk as the low-pressure system strengthens. This process is called cyclogenesis, rapid intensification. The moderate level risk right now is across the northwest, where the storms are going to pivot and bring flooding. But as this storm strengthens, it's going to bring more widespread wind damage across the entire United States. Let me show you what the models are saying, because there's disagreement on intensity, but agreement on impact. The GFS model is showing a stronger, worst-case scenario. We don't know if the intensity will be quite that strong yet, but even the European model, which typically shows the best-case scenario, is forecasting a powerful storm. Widespread 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's being generous. 60 miles per hour shows up in red. All that brown? 70 miles per hour. Higher elevations in Montana could see winds exceed 70 miles per hour. As the storm crosses the north central and central plains, 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts spread across a massive area. Then it reaches the Great Lakes and Northeast, bringing more 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. The GFS takes it further. It's showing that strong anomaly coming through the west with more 70 mile per hour winds. And as it crosses east, it brings a wider area of damaging winds, spreading more over the mid-Mississippi and Ohio Valley instead of just the northeast. Either way, this is going to be a very powerful storm. As Matthew chapter 8 reminds us, then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it was completely calm. We may not have that power, but we can prepare. We can take shelter. We can protect what matters. Now, let me walk you through this storm system day by day, because timing is everything. Tuesday, the atmospheric river intensifies along Washington and Oregon. Heavy rain begins in earnest. Wednesday, it starts bringing heavy snow to higher elevations. The storm system begins crossing the north-central U.S. and Midwest. It's bringing storms, bringing snowfall, and bringing cold air right behind it. This isn't just a rain and snow event. This is another cold blast. A big below-average temperature anomaly before we transition to that longer warm-up stretch through Christmas, Thursday. Here's where it gets really interesting. The storm brings more cold air with it, more snow. And look at those tight isobars on the weather map. Tight isobars mean strong pressure gradients. And pressure gradients between low pressure and high pressure create powerful winds. Damaging winds are coming behind this system. And because it's in the snow, we're talking about potential blizzard conditions Thursday morning. But the warm side of this storm creates a different threat. Thursday afternoon and evening, straight-line winds develop across the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley. We're looking at potential severe weather. The storm pulls moisture up from the Gulf while cold air rushes in from behind. That creates the perfect setup for severe weather. We still need to check the specifics. Cape levels, lift, dew points. But at minimum, we're looking at a strong day of damaging winds as this system pushes through Thursday evening into overnight. The cold air that follows brings frigid wind chills. And then the system moves out through the northeast on Friday. Now, here's the question everyone's asking. Is this going to become a nor'easter? Right now, it's not showing a pivot into a very strong nor'easter with heavy snow. It's not meeting up with the right temperatures. But we're literally 5 days away. This could move around. This could change. There's going to be a lot of precipitation moving into cold air. So far, the models aren't showing a big snowstorm for the coast, just another cold blast moving into the weekend. But that could shift. Check back daily because this forecast will evolve. Let me show you the snowfall forecast for the next 6 days because some areas are going to get buried. Montana to North Dakota, significant snow. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Upper Michigan, major accumulation. All across the Great Lakes and interior Northeast, snow continues with more lake effect adding to totals. But the higher elevations? This is where it gets extreme. Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. 4 to 6 feet of snow possible. Maybe more right after that if a clipper system follows. Wednesday, storms cross Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, bringing snowfall to higher elevations. Through Idaho on Wednesday, Montana and Wyoming getting hammered. The cold spell right behind it shows tight isobars. That signifies strong winds, damaging winds, and when you combine heavy snow with strong winds, you get blizzards. Thursday morning could bring blizzard conditions to multiple states. Now let's talk about what comes after this storm, because the pattern doesn't settle down. After this weekend's cold blast, we transition to that warm-up period through Christmas. Above-average temperatures spread across most of the country. The 8 to 14-day outlook from December 21st to 27th shows big above-average precipitation for the West Coast and above-average temperatures for most other areas. If you have snow on the ground, it's going to melt. The Great Thaw is coming, and melting snow creates flooding problems. But then comes the pattern flip. The Arctic Oscillation goes negative right around Christmas and beyond. When the AO goes negative, cold air plunges back in. Deep cold. January could see another significant Arctic blast, maybe even bombing into February. The North Atlantic Oscillation is also starting to go from neutral to big negative. That brings a cold snap from central to eastern U.S. with the best chance of pushing far south. We're looking at a potentially volatile January and February. Active, cold, stormy. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on getting through the next 10 days safely. Here's what you need to do right now. Today and tomorrow, the cold is life-threatening in many areas. If you're in the Midwest, Ohio Valley, or Northeast, limit outdoor exposure. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure pets are inside. Let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. If you must travel, prepare for the worst. Full tank of gas, emergency kit in your car, blankets, water, snacks, phone charger, flashlight. Tell someone your route and expected arrival time. Tuesday through Thursday. If you're on the West Coast, prepare for heavy rain and potential flooding. Clear storm drains. Move valuables to higher floors. Have an evacuation plan if you're near a river. If you're in the path of the storm crossing the country, prepare for high winds, secure outdoor items, charge devices, have backup power if possible. Thursday, severe weather possible in Ohio Valley and mid-Mississippi, damaging winds likely. If severe weather develops, take shelter immediately. Friday and Saturday, another cold blast arrives. Any water that melted during the brief warm-up will refreeze. Black ice on roads will be a major concern Saturday morning. Christmas week. Above average temperatures create rapid snowmelt. Monitor for flooding. Check basements. Make sure sump pumps work. After Christmas, stay tuned for updates on the pattern flip. January could bring significant cold and multiple winter storms. The key is staying informed and staying flexible. Weather patterns this active require daily monitoring. What's true today might change by tomorrow. 76,000 people are without power right now. That number will grow as this wind event unfolds. Make sure you're not caught off guard. As Proverbs chapter 27 verse 12 tells us, the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. We're being warned. We're seeing the danger. The question is, will we take refuge? Will we prepare? Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Make sure they have heat, food, supplies. Make sure someone is watching out for them. This is the time for community, for looking out for one another, for being our brother's keeper. The storm is coming, multiple storms actually, coast-to-coast impacts, but we can get through this together. In tomorrow's forecast, I'm going to dive deeper into that Christmas week pattern and what the models are showing for the beginning of January. The signals are becoming clearer, and what I'm seeing suggests a very active winter ahead. The next 10 days will test our preparation, our resilience, our care for one another. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay weather aware. Remember, all glory goes to God our Father in heaven. He keeps us safe through every storm if we trust in Him and prepare wisely. Until tomorrow, God bless and stay safe.